Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear sister. So, you've written in to us about a recent bereavement that you faced in losing your mum just 3 weeks ago now, and the difficulties that you're facing as a result of this. And you seem to be having a really hard time overcoming the grief, and you're kind of really looking for ways to move forward with this because you're even experiencing the physical symptoms of it now, too. So I'll just begin by saying, from an Islamic perspective, you're doing all the right things. It can be very easy when going through times of distress like this, and it's not uncommon for people to turn away from their deen because they can't cope and they maybe feel like it's some kind of punishment or so, and so lose sight of their deen and turn away from the path. But Alhamdulillah, you're doing all the right things. You're still reading Quran, you're still praying, you're still making dua, and these will be the best things for you in protecting you and comforting you during this time. So, mashallah, you're doing all the right things right now. So do keep this up. Because as you move forward, as you move through the grief and get over the grief and move forward, these are the things that will really serve in your best interest in moving in and moving on in the most effective way. So you're doing all the right things here. Now, of course, Islamically, we are not encouraged to grieve excessively for long periods of time, but this doesn't mean that you cannot stop making dua for your mom. So, whilst it might be encouraged to reduce the level of distress that you're experiencing, which I'm going to go through some tips of how you can do this a bit later on. So you might want to try and reduce your level of distress and how it impacts on your daily life. But of course, it's not affecting your prayer, so this is a good thing. This is a good sign. But do continue to make dua for her. Even when you move on from your grief, or when you feel like it's too much to be feeling this terrible still at this time, this doesn't stop you from making dua. You can continue to make dua for her, and this will make you feel better about the situation as well, knowing that that you're still able to do this for her, even though she's not here. So do keep this up as well. This will also help you as well. And another thing to do is to always take this kind of situation as a reminder for the temporary nature of this life. Not only just, the loss of your mum, she's somebody close to you, so it's something, that would really help to bring this message home. But just death in general is always a reminder to us about the temporary nature of this life, and how we should always be seeking to serve our Creator, to serve Allah. And that is the most important thing, because only Allah knows when He's going to take our lives away. So this an important reminder for this as well. So just to draw upon benefits of the situation as well, as a means to improve yourself, to improve ourselves as well. So this is kind of from the Islamic perspective, but from a more psychological perspective, there are some things that you can do to help you move through and move on from the grief successfully, and to make things easier for yourself. So first of all, keep in mind that it's only been 3 weeks. It's still fresh. It is going to be upsetting to you still. Grief does not end that quickly. It's a long process, and you'll go through all sorts of different emotions along the way. So don't try and force it. Don't try and force yourself to finish grieving that quickly without actually processing the emotions properly. So don't force it. Allow yourself to grieve, and go through the process of grief. And this is probably the reason why you're having so many dreams about her as well, because it's always in your mind. So of course, when you go to sleep, your mind is still processing these things. So she's going to come to you in your dreams as well. You're going to dream about her. Another way to help you with this is to talk about the positive things. You obviously have some very, very fond memories of her throughout your life. Do make this something that you do not only just by yourself, but with other people as well. If you have maybe any siblings or family members, friends who knew her, talk about her together. Talk about the good times that you had together. Don't let it be something that just is lost. Talk about it, and this will also help you with processing your grief and your emotions, but it also provides you with the social support that is very important in overcoming grief, or overcoming any difficult matter, for that matter. Of course, you're going through difficult feelings, difficult emotions, and it can be very easy to feel like, especially when it's so distressing, to just try and push those feelings away. But I wouldn't suggest doing that, because sometimes when you try really hard to push something away, the feeling only gets stronger. So a good way to deal with this is to allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to feel the emotions. Like I said, it's not long, you know, it only happened a few weeks ago. So know that, you know, these feelings won't just disappear. And certainly if you try and push them away, it's going to make it more difficult. So allow yourself to feel these emotions and embrace them. And this will help you in the process of adjusting to your, you know, the new emotions that you're feeling and, you know, experiencing a different way of life that doesn't have your mom in it. Certainly not in the way that she has been in your life up until now, but at least it allows you to feel the emotions. And then regarding, you mentioned that you've been experiencing some physical symptoms of anxiety. So one way to help yourself with this is really something aside from the points I've made so far, is just to make sure that you keep care of yourself in terms of exercising well and eating well, which can be easily lost when you're feeling so down and distressed. We tend to lose focus of ourselves like this. So do make sure that you're keeping a hold of these things as well, to avoid the more physical side effects and to maybe assist you with the physical side effects, because your body will be in better health as well. So these are ways that can help you in moving forward, perhaps more from a psychological perspective as well. And like I mentioned before, there's the Islamic perspective in terms of using it as a reminder of the temporary nature of this life, but also remembering to keep strong in your deen and continue to do what you're doing, because you're doing all the right things, sister. You're doing all the right things. And inshallah, this will be of great benefit to you and will really help you in moving through your grief successfully. So may Allah make it easy for you to get through this. May Allah grant your mum the highest ranks in Jannah. May she be waiting there to greet you in the future, inshallah. And may Allah make things easy for you during this difficult time, and may He help you to move through the grief successfully and move on in your life successfully, inshallah.